Have you ever felt like your mind is a restless bird, constantly jumping from one thought to another? You sit down to work, and suddenly you're thinking about dinner, or what your friends are doing, or that funny video you saw online. If that sounds familiar, then you need to hear the story of Kabir. Once, in a quiet little village, lived a bright young boy named Kabir. He was sharp and intelligent, but he had one major weakness. He just couldn't focus. His mind was always somewhere else. His father would often tell him, "Son, your mind is like a wild horse. If you don't learn to control it, it will lead you astray. But if you discipline it, it'll take you wherever you want to go." Kabir heard the words, but he never really listened. Seeing his son struggle, Kabir's father decided to take him to a wise old teacher, a man everyone called Guruji, who was famous for helping young people find their path. The father explained Kabir's problem with focus. Guruji listened patiently, a gentle smile on his face. Then, without saying much, he handed Kabir a small glass completely filled with water. "Hold this glass," Guruji instructed, "and walk all the way around my garden. But here's the rule. You must not spill a single drop." Kabir thought it sounded simple enough. A walk in the garden. Easy. He took the glass and started walking, but the garden wasn't silent. Birds were chirping beautiful songs from the trees. The leaves rustled with a gentle breeze. In the distance, he could hear children laughing and playing. Every time a sound caught his attention, his eyes would dart away from the glass for just a second, and each time he looked away, a little bit of water would slosh over the rim and spill onto the ground. First a small splash, then another, and another. By the time he completed the full circle and returned to Guruji, the glass was only half full. Guruji looked at the glass, and then at Kabir. He asked softly, "Why did so much water spill?" Kabir, feeling a little embarrassed, replied, "I got distracted by all the sounds around me." Guruji nodded. "Exactly," he said. "This glass represents your goal in life, whatever it may be. And the water inside it, that's your focus, your attention. The sounds you heard, the birds, the wind, the laughter, those are the countless distractions of the world. They will always be there. If you don't train your mind to stay fixed on your purpose, your focus will spill away, and you will lose what's most important before you ever reach your destination." This time, the lesson hit home. It wasn't just about a glass of water anymore. Kabir finally understood what his father and Guruji were trying to tell him. He saw his own life reflected in that half-empty glass bowl, the potential he was spilling away because he could uncontrol his attention. From that day forward, something inside Kabir shifted. He decided to change. He didn't try to transform overnight. Instead, he started small. He began by creating a simple routine, waking up at the exact same time every single morning. He set limits on his phone use, putting it away when he was studying or talking to someone. He made a conscious effort to give his full, undivided attention to whatever task was in front of him, whether it was homework or a simple chore. To help train his restless mind, he started practicing a few minutes of meditation each morning. He would just sit quietly and focus on his breath. At first, it was incredibly difficult. His thoughts still wandered, pulling him in 100 different directions. But he didn't get frustrated. He would gently acknowledge the distraction and then bring his focus back to his breath, again and again. Days turned into weeks, and slowly but surely, Kabir started to feel a real change. It was like a muscle getting stronger with exercise. His mind felt calmer, steadier. His memory sharpened, and he could remember things from his lessons much more easily. And, of course, his grades in school began to improve dramatically. About a year later, a huge national level competition was announced. It was an academic challenge where students from all over the country had to solve incredibly tough problems under immense time pressure. As the competition began, many of the brightest students started to panic. The pressure was too much. Their minds went blank, but not Kabir. He remembered Guruji's lesson. He pictured the glass of water. He stayed calm and centered. He focused on just one question at a time, pouring all his mental energy into it. Just like he had learned to protect the water in the glass, he blocked out the noise, the pressure, and the ticking clock. When the final results were announced, the entire village held its breath. And then, the news came. Kabir had stood first. First in the entire nation. The village erupted in cheers. His father was overjoyed, and when Kabir went to see Guruji, the wise old teacher simply smiled with pride. Kabir had proven a powerful truth. A disciplined mind is far more powerful than raw talent, good luck, or even natural intelligence. From that day on, he was known throughout the region as the boy who mastered his mind. So, what's the takeaway from Kabir's story? It's that you have the same power within you. Your goals are your glass of water. Your focus is the precious resource that'll help you achieve them. And the world will always be full of distractions trying to make you spill it. If this story sparked even a small flame of motivation in you today, don't let it just fade away. Nurture it. Start small, just like Kabir did. Pick one tiny thing you can do to practice discipline. Maybe it's putting your phone in another room for 1 hour. Maybe it's finishing one task completely before starting another. Maybe it's just 5 minutes of quiet time each morning. Your next chapter of success doesn't begin with some giant leap. It begins the moment you decide to take control of your focus. It begins with one moment at a time. So, start today. What's the first drop of water you're going to protect? Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you on your journey. See you next time.